yesterday. If you're new to our tournament, this is going to be best of five. So first player to three matches or three games is going to be the winner of this match. Savage on the
Yeah,
left, Swong on the right.
Swung does say that he does play on emulator. So we have three emulator players and one console. Um, Swung looking like he's going to choose off. Sometimes he switches. He is both Team Fever and Team Chill, whereas Savage is very much a Team Chill, always, forever.
So opening boards, I was just not happy with what Swong was getting. That barrage of blues and really nothing to do with it. You can see he had a little bit of garbage there, has managed to get through it, and really showing no signs of having had any trouble at all. That's
Mhm.
our three-time world champion in versus kind of coming out there, or two-time, I believe. I
Two
don't
times.
even remember how many times it's been. Two times. There we go.
Two times.
Uh, Meanwhile, Savage with the more favorable board, but has a big chasm going on in the bottom of that board. But as long as she doesn't get a lot of blue pills, I think things are going to work out pretty well for her, especially dropping down that horizontal and going to have access to another yellow. Oh, going to get a fat log right there. So both players really just trading back and forth with this lead. Really like what Swong is getting set up here, but he's just waiting around for a yellow. There, it's going to come. Big combo.
There he goes. And now he's just going to need two more yellows to get out. So it is 3-1. It is very, very close at this point. Swung is going to be out at a 125. And Savage, after this, is going to need one more blue.
You had to say it. There it is. All right,
I
out of
I
the
did. I'm
133.
sorry. I take full responsibility. I'm sorry.
No, it's the way of things. The game knows. The game knew. There's nothing we could have done about it. Swan does not take the drop horizontal there. Gets it as a vertical. No problems because he is setting up here. Is gonna be trying to get a T out of this. There it goes. Big setup for Swung. Now he takes that horizontal and has a two virus lead, now a one virus lead as Savage catching right up, but is going to need some red to keep up with Swung.
Exactly. She hasn't been getting a lot. And the game has just been giving her everything else. So everything else has been cleared. So hopefully hopefully I can make the game actually do better this time. Game, please. It is a 23-18 swung with a 4-5 virus lead at this point. And our timers are pretty much even between the two, so we don't really have to worry much about any timing issues down in the next couple of levels. Savage not needing anything more to do with yellow at all, aside from one little thing, and it's still buried. So please stop with yellow.
Yeah, Swung, meanwhile,
Uh-huh.
has just gotten himself down to the bottom of this board, finally getting everything that he needed. He's still got a blue that's buried, although this is going to free it up. He is having to wait, and Savage at a 228 is out. So Swung having to wait to make sure that he doesn't set off these blues on that left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
He's out at a 338, so about 10 seconds behind. But Savage not with a favorable board at the top of
Oof.
this level 12. It's just very blue, and so far she's managed to find a way through it. But this section not over yet, and is going to get this combo here with just minimal garbage. Really nice play early on in this level for Savage. Meanwhile, Swong getting down to a very red section of his board, but he has tied it back up. Again, this game just going back and forth. I don't think we're going to know who's going to win it until the very last couple of seconds. There.
Exactly. Um, Savage now has more diversity on the board. I still wish there was a little bit more yellow. Um, around for her. Swang just still, as you were mentioning, dealing with all of that red. Um, so he's cleaned a lot of that out, but there is a little bit of a chasm in that board, in the middle of the board, and he does have to be careful. Swang is one of our people who knows when to avoid drop time. He is usually very careful about that. Um, so he just has to keep that awareness up, and it'll be fine for him.
So, Savage now with a 6 virus lead. It has been growing just ever so slightly, although Swang got it down to a 2. It really has been back and forth, and it's been dependent on a lot of how the pills are coming out. I like this horizontal setup for Savage. She's going to be able to get this one. Uh, she's going to drop it down and get the. Okay, no, she's not going to drop it down to get the horizontal on the yellow, but is going to get this blue, and now just needs 3 blues and a yellow, and is going to get them in short order and be out at a 538 into level 13 first with a fairly sizable advantage. Swung needing a lot of blue.
Exactly. And knowing Swung, he's going to want to desandwich that red in column one. So that will take some maneuvering on his part. Decides not to go with that and make me a liar. Thank you, Swung. I think that was the right way to go. That would have been very hard to unstop her. He's going to be out at a 610.
Yeah, so Swung needing to make up some ground here as Savage already about a dozen or so viruses ahead as Swung enters level 13 himself. Really nice cross clear there for Savage. Gonna drop down a blue or a red as well that she is now going to make into a drop horizontal, one away from a drop cross, but it was a double, so not able to make that happen. And at this point, she's doing some garbage cleanup. Swang, meanwhile, having a lot of red and yellow at the top of this board, mostly red. So if he can get some good RNG, will be working his way pretty deep down pretty quickly. But it may be too little too late as Savage already down to the last 20 viruses.
Yeah, she does have a 15 virus lead at this point. Um, so that I mean, there is anything can happen, and we have seen a lot of things happen. And no, Savage, I'm not putting that out into the universe. I'm stating facts. Thank you. Um, but Swung does have almost everything over on that right side of his board. He just has a small spire over in column one with those blues. And it does look like he's signaling that he wants to take the reds in um, 6 and 7 out horizontally as well. So he does have to build up to that.
Meanwhile, Savage, having to prioritize, gets this blue out of the way because she wanted this horizontal yellow. Unfortunately, that yellow was holding up some blues. But with this drop right here at an 8 minutes flat, Savage is going to take game number one. And that's got to be a hot time for her. Whether or not it's a hot time for the level block is another question. It is not, but for Savage. That is her number 12 time all time. So 11 times she's gotten sub 8, but this was all it took.
And Swung is going to try to top out, gets a red rush. Um, so he is going to reset, and we will move on to our second crown.
And again, this is best of 5. So, Swung not feeling the pressure yet. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We saw a lot of players yesterday who, got themselves into a 1-0 hole and every game then is an elimination game and your nerves are on edge and things
Mhm.
work out. But, with one just being one down, worst the worst he's thinking is going 3-1, but now he knows he's got to do at least that. Top of the boards, nothing too bad this time. Not a lot of access to red for Swang, and of course he's going to get red blitzed. Wisely takes this play though, and is going to be able to use things in a very efficient manner. Let's see where this blue's. He was hoping for a double blue. We'll see if it shows up for him.
Meanwhile, on Savage's board, she has access to everything. There is a little bit of lack of yellow until a little bit further down on the board. She is currently using it as strategic garbage. That is something that we do love to see. Strategic garbage. And now she's just facing just a top line of blue.
Swang is waiting now on a blue red, has decided to go ahead and just take the garbage, and I think realizes that it wasn't going to create any garbage because everything was dropping down. So just that is time lost, but hopefully for him, not too much time wasted, as he is still holding on to a 9 virus advantage. Savage kind of working through this mid board, needs some needs a lot of interesting pill combinations to get this thing going, but is again still 8 viruses behind as swung into his end game, just trying to get the last viruses cleared out, but needs several blues.
Exactly. And Savage is also looking like a blue end game as well. I like this T. I love that T. Uh, Swung is going to be out at a 155. Savage just waiting on those blues.
That double blue really good for her. And here's the last blue out of 204. So about 10 seconds, nothing in a game like this. Swang, we see, is making really smart horizontal plays there. He's again trying to avoid getting, yeah, trying to avoid dropping anything down that would make it harder for him to set up that horizontal. It goes all the way to the bottom for that horizontal one pill double. And he is now 13 viruses ahead of Savage, who doesn't have any use for yellow right now, Laura.
That's been a thing this entire month has been just a real lack of yellows for everybody. No real need for yellows. And then, wouldn't you know it, they just kind of show up.
Yeah, and she's hoping now for a double blue. We'll see what the doctor orders. This, yeah. All right, so she's platforming up. There's the double blue, just when she has everything else set up, of course. But she is still 9 viruses behind, as Swang is now needing quite a bit of yellow to advance his board. That cluster in the middle it's healthy. You know, you'll be able to really do something with it. It's just a matter of can the right pills show up? And so far they have been, although spoke too soon. Swung says, I'm going to use this blue red regardless. So down to 3, now down to 2, down to 1. He needs 2 yellows, and they're going to come up. He is going to be out of 347 into his level 12.
And Savage just waiting on a red and a blue. And she is going to be out at a 354.
So I think that's about 6, 7 seconds that Savage has made up over the last level. So not a huge increase, but definitely better than losing time. And Swang with this really interesting board. I can't wait to see kind of what he can put together with this. Looks like he's thinking just clear clear these as garbage. Uh, everything's gonna drop down here, and man, just smart play. He didn't break the game like he did yesterday, so lucky for him. But now we see
Yeah.
Savage catching back up. Well, up
Mhm.
until that combo from Swang.
Yeah, that had a very Adelito feel where it was like, this is brewing for a long time, but it's really gonna pay off once um once it comes up, once it's triggered.
and
So
Swang
it
is
is
thinking,
13-19 at this point. Um,
look,
Swang
look at what
needing
Swang
those
is
blues.
broadcasting that he is going to be setting up for a horizontal, or he's going to set up for a T here. Unfortunately, just it's not the most efficient play, but he is going to get
Mhm,
everything out with a combo. 532 into level 12. I was a little concerned for him on that one.
mhm.
But again, Savage just right on his heels is going to be out again about 10 seconds back. So she is the one going to be chasing here in level 13 and with a lower top line. So we'll see how that's going to work out. Real good combo from Swang, though.
Exactly. Um, he does have only that one red exposed at this point. So, but something Swung really does well is looking past that first layer into the second layer. And if he can take something in a horizontal, we know Swung, he'll take it in a horizontal.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. And Savage grateful now for access to yellow. She spent, or was it blue? There's one color I've already forgotten what it is, trying to call other stuff, but she just had no access to blue, I believe it was, at the beginning of her level. Now has it and is, man, making good inroads. She is within 6 and make that within 5. Uh, can't really make it faster than this. The game, the the game is just moving too quickly.
Hmm.
So Swang holding serve here, but Savage again just keeping it very close.
Yeah, Swung's waiting. He was waiting for the right blue. He couldn't just use any blue because of how it would drop. Um, but he is down to his final 12. Savage is at 14. So this really can go any way.
And we're at 12 to 11 now. Savage bringing it down to just one virus and a lot of pairs, although Swung with a lot of setups already ready to go. So it is 8 to 9. Now 8 to 8. Savage takes a quick lead. We'll see if the combos can keep coming up for her. It Swung gets his down to 4. Now it is down to 3. If Swung can get this as a
He
fat
just needs
log,
his
he will
blues.
have the game.
And now
There's one
Savage
blue
needs one
yellow. There's
red.
the second.
Oh!
Oh, so we're gonna have to go to the tape on that one. That was so close. The timer difference does appear to be the difference, so we're gonna give it just a bit. Our restreamer the Dave going to be going back, taking a look at the tape on that one. But if it does go the way it appears to, kind of a heartbreaking loss there for Swang.
Yeah,
Savage again showing 1 second ahead on this one. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna see what happens.
yeah. And some of that is just a different play style. Swang, we could see, was building those combos and building those combos and potentially waiting around maybe a little bit longer for that exact piece. Whereas Savage was, I see it, I can take it, go. Um, so neither is right and neither is wrong. And sometimes it can make the difference for just 1 or 2 seconds.
Yeah, and if you spend any time with Savage, you can see the hyperventilation happening in real time
Hmm.
right now. She knew, I'm sure, that she was a little bit behind and had to really fight her way back. So again, we are waiting for confirmation on that one because of how close the times were. If it does turn out that Swang was a second faster than he was showing, or that Savage was a second longer than she was showing, there will be, okay, confirmed by 1 second. So no tiebreaker for this one. GG's to both players, and now it is a Swang looking up from a 2-0 hole. He is going to need a reverse sweep to make this happen. The Crows are hungry, so we'll see if Swang will be able to feed them or if Savage is going to put this away in the next match or two. All right, Swong says he's going to need to take a minute. I get that.
Oh, oh,
Totally get
he's
that.
doing pet strats.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Swong's got the mascot out. We know cat percent is a way to make your game slower, and Swong has shown in the past that dog percent is a way to make it faster. All right, players are ready. And there's our countdown, 3, 2, 1, and pills. I like these boards for both players. Anytime you can see the all three colors at the top of your board, usually a good time.
Exactly. And I really like how Savage has been very cognizant of what is available, what is not, and making sure that her top line is even later on. Swang really not needing any reds right now, um, and potentially looking for a double yellow. Oh, look, you're welcome. I expect my check in the mail, Swang. Um, and now not a lot of use for yellow. So even just in a few seconds, it can go from needing exclusively one color to almost exclusively needing a different color. So having a very flexible play style um, certainly helps with that.
Looking over at Savage's board, you can see that she is trying to avoid putting anything in columns 7 and 8, does not go for the quick horizontal, and is going to continue to try to not put things in 6 and 7, I mean, as she is setting up for a horizontal, is just going to take 3 out of the 4 she had, or 2 out of the 3 she had available. Looks like she's waiting on a yellow blue to try to make this combo. We'll see if that turns out to be a good idea, as Swung already out of his level 10 into his 11, and Savage just lets it go and is hopefully going to keep getting red blues. Oh, really good quick adjustment there to make sure that she doesn't do anything she doesn't want to out at 2 minutes flat.
Hmm. And we like that. Looking at that next box and seeing, especially during your end game, if you have one red and one yellow, or one red and one blue, whatever combination, if you have one remaining, looking at that next box really easily tells you, okay, this is the best play. This is what we want to do.
I was a little concerned with Swung. Just I couldn't tell if it was misdrops or if he had these genius level setups, because I mean, that's part of his play style.
Hmm.
Looks like that one is a genius level setup, but he is still holding on to a 5 virus lead. Although Savage with a cleaner board right now, and honestly better color diversity. So we'll see if that is going to help. Swung with a big horizontal there. That's going to take 3 off his board, and now getting a little more color diversity himself, as Savage trying to catch her way back up as she did in the last game and try to finish off the sweep.
Yeah, there was, I believe, a misdrop over in column 7 and 8 for Swung. I think he had wanted to tuck it and missed the tuck. So now he's clearing all of that out. Um, so he only now he is down by 2 at this point. So Savage has taken a lead. Um, and we'll see. He's got several yellows next to each other. We don't always like that, but hopefully RNG will provide for him. Savage just looking at reds now.
And goes ahead and gets that one underclear. Now she's going to need a second underclear to save some frames. And 1, 2, and 3. Swung is going to be out first, but Savage is going to be out with a better time unless I miss my view on it. as these two, Swang just getting a really good end game there and holding his lead. Although, again, hard to tell based on their timer differences which player is actually out first.
We do have, thank you, Flindo. Swung was at 406 and Savage was at 408 coming out of that level. So still very, very close. It is anybody's game at this point. Savage has brought her board down quite a lot. Not There's only really one Spire, and this, okay, she'll use it a different way and in a better way as well, which is why she is there and I am here.
We're playing the I lost a packy game in commentary booth today, so
Mm-hmm.
it is it is now 20-20. Savage and Swang just again right back and forth, and that's really what we expected with this matchup. Didn't expect it to be a blowout on either side, and not terribly surprised to see them this close again, 11-11, 9-9. It's every pill or every virus one of them takes out, the other one has got. Savage getting a very fortuitous double red. That is going to help her get her board moved because right now she's got a heavy red dependency while Swang has access to everything. He's going to be out first at a 6 minutes flat, as Savage going to be out with her next blue. There it is at 6:08. So again, 8 seconds behind. She's going to be running the chase, but we saw her do more than that last game. So should be a really tight finish yet again for game three.
There we go. Nice tee from Swang. I knew he was playing it. I was waiting for it to come up, and follows that up with another really nice drop combo as well. Though I do like the diversity on Savage's board a little bit more than Swang. Swang, again, broken record at this point. Not really a lot of use for yellow.
Yeah, and Savage is going to be in that boat here in just a second as well. As you can see, all of her yellow. Oh, nice tee there. I was going to say all of her yellow going to be packed away in the bottom of her board, but no longer the case, as she is still, though, a dozen viruses behind. And you got to be feeling good about Swang's chances here. But you, again, can't count anybody out at this point,
Mm-mm.
as Savage gets a great combo there to get it now within 8.
Yes, and heads up play from her with those horizontals. Now she had the smallest red blitz imaginable at about 2. Used them very, very well. So it is 3 now 2-9, and Swung is going to get out with this double blue at a 751.
And with that, Savage is going to be out of time. She's going to be out at another at 7:59. So again, just great times from both these players and keeping it close. Swang proving that the dog strats are going to work for him, and sending us to a game number 4. 7:51, the number 8 time for Swang here on this level block.
And we
All
have
right.
our 3-2-1 pills.
Ooh, very different boards this time. Uh, Hard to analyze either one of them. Savages is very floaty. Um, she would have loved to have been able to swim there. Savage, not a swimmer. She just doesn't. And I can't say I blame her. It tends to be a higher risk play. It's not that she can't, she just generally chooses not to. And Swang, meanwhile, this is a board. This is one of the boards of all time, but really good combo there to make things just fall the way he needs them to. He's holding on to a 2 virus lead with a 2 second clock disadvantage.
Exactly. Savage, so really getting a lot of the pills she needs. RNG being pretty nice. Maybe not the best in the world, but still being, nicer than average. It's because Sarah's here. Don't
Yeah,
think we didn't
well,
see you in chat, Sarah.
Swan gets that lightning bolt earlier and now just is a tuck play away. He gets his parking garage set up so that he won't miss the tuck out at a 121. That is like 30 seconds faster than any level 10 we've seen this entire match. Swung on fire with that one.
Yeah, very, very fast. Savage down to her end game. Um, really needing just a couple of blues and a couple of reds. Again, you can see that she is looking at that next box and seeing what is the best thing for me to do. She chose right. She's out at a 151.
And that's a good time for this level. That's what we've seen from
Mhm.
these players already today. It's just Swung was so fast on this level 10 that he is already a dozen viruses ahead and has a huge setup going on here. He's just waiting for a double yellow or a yellow red. I'm assuming it won't be too long before he just goes for it with a yellow blue. Goes ahead and does that. Gets that big combo knocked out and is rewarded with really good pills to clear away all the garbage that he had to make for that one.
Mhm. He is holding on to a 14 virus lead at this point. Um and getting yellow bursted now. At the end of that yellow burst, there's that double blue.
If you're interested in learning the game, that's one of the things you can learn is what pill bursts will result in so that you can be setting up for the next big thing. At the end of every double yellow blitz is going to be a double blue, as we just saw. And at the end of every swung level is another good time, as he is going to be out of this one with his next three reds. There's two of them, and out at a 321. So, uh, wow, that's two solid levels in a row for Swung. He may be looking at a PB or possibly even a hot time. I haven't even checked that may be the same thing for him.
They may be. Savage is down at the bottom of her level. She only has two left. This yellow red is going to do it for her. She's going to be out at a 346.
And again, we're talking about sub 2 minutes on every level for Savage as well.
Hmm.
But Swang just zipping right through, and I think he just needed to get himself a little bit warmed up today, as he has been really pushing on all cylinders. Once he got that dog in his lap,
I was going to say, no, no,
I'm
no, it's
sure
the dog strat.
I'm sure he'll claim it. But not
um,
much you can do if you don't get the pills.
exactly. He needs things that are not yellow right now. Um, he does have something brewing over in columns 1 and 2. Um, but unless there he goes, he takes that out. It was going to need a double red in order for that to work. Um, decides, okay, he doesn't need that anymore. He's probably going to try to take those two reds horizontally. Meanwhile, Savage looking at a lot of red on her board. She just needs a lot of red.
Yeah. Swung on his all blue end game, out at a 506 and on into his level 13. I mean, this is a salvageable time in 8 to 11, or 6 to 9. I mean, if you're out into your third level at around 5 minutes, you've got a salvageable time. This though, this is two level blocks later, and Swang is just ripping it a new one.
Hmm. Though he does
Savage
have,
again though.
his top line is both scattered and very yellow heavy, very jagged. So hopefully he is able to get what he needs because you can't go fast if RNG says no, you're not going fast. So let's hope that he does have that. Savage is going to be out around a 550 into level 13.
And we've seen her pretty much holding serve as she started off about 30 seconds behind at the end of level 10. So really, it hasn't lost a lot of time. It's just that that initial level 10 was a really big one for Swang.
Hmm.
Right now, though, he is needing a double red. There it is to build this combo out, and he's just about got everything he needs, holding on to a 20 virus lead.
Exactly. He sees a couple of double yellows, makes the T. Um, Swung is also one of those people. If he can make a shape, he will make a shape. Um, and most
Oh,
likely going to try to take these reds out horizontally. There you go.
you can tell he
Savage
wants the
working
fat one quick.
exclusively on the right side of her board. Whew.
All right, PB strats for Swang, as 7:01 is his best time and the number 4 all-time hot time for this level block, uh, beating out Savage by 1 second from her June 2024 performance, and making Swang the fastest person not named Adelito with this level block.
Exactly. Um, that's at this point, you know, PB strats, hot time strats, you cannot go against those.
No, you really can't. So yeah, 7:01. That is a
That is
time.
phenomenal.
All right. So we got readies from both players.
I
Swang gonna
think
try
we've
to.
seen entire 6 to 9 matches this month that took more time than that 10 to 13.
The crows are going. Swang finally gets his controller into his hand, and we got our 3, 2, 1 pills. And this is do or die for both players, as uh, it is an elimination game for both. Uh, Savage looking to make some setups. Swang doing the same. This is the only thing that's missing is the sound effect whenever one of them hits a combo, because this is looking like versus play right now.
Yes. And oh, Savage with that wonderful, wonderful, just gigantic combo. Um, it is a dead even. It's 25-26.
Yep. Exactly what we want to see. We want a tiebreaker on this one. Savage doesn't, but we definitely do. It is uh, it's just the best thing for the community. Let's have some fun. But as it
Pros
is,
want a tiebreaker.
oh yeah, I mean you got to have a tiebreaker in one of the tightest matches we've seen in a while. During during the tie-breaking game. That's what I'm trying to say.
Words.
Yep. So it is 10-7. Swang able to catch up because Savage just has a lot of blue on her board and doesn't have, that whole column on that left was dependent on the blue. She is going to get it knocked down now. Get it down to 5, now down to 3 as Swang gets down to 2. He is going to have to bracket clear this and find his way down to this. Oh, never mind. He's going to get the horizontal. He's going to be out at 2 minutes flat. Savage going to be out with her next two blues. There's one. There is two. She's out at 207. So uh, just keeping it very close, and Swan with a big combo to open up this level.
and we expect nothing less from Swang. I wish that his yellows and reds were a little bit closer together. Well, now I kind of just wish he had yellows available to him. But Savage looking at the same thing. Not a lot of access to yellows.
Oh, and that red blue is a misdrop from Savage. That is going to be a touch of slowdown for her. She is going to find a use for part of it, but overall, it is not going to be helpful. And that is not what she wants here at a point in this board where she really doesn't have a lot of other options. So, is going to get some of this knocked out of the way. Unfortunately, just not access to any blues on that row except at the very bottom. So she's just going to clear it out and work her way down. But it is only 16 virus lead for Swang, and we have seen such things go crazier already this match. Uh, so just see what will happen.
Yeah, Swang definitely going to take those reds out horizontally. And then he looks like he's going to try to take the blues vertically if he can. Um, Now he would need to have a double blue in order to do that. But he has it set up. He can take one without any drop time. And then the second, he's going to be out at a 403.
A good play for him as Savage just needs a few more. But yeah, definitely behind on this one.
Yeah, and Savage needing a lot of blue. And Swang's board looks already a little bit sloped to the right, and now very yellow heavy after that big old clear.
We're going to make a good combo here out of that as well. But yeah, very yellow heavy on this 12. As Savage going to join him into 12, about half a level behind. She's going to have to really make up some distance here. But you know, again, Swung waiting on the right pills to show up, and with as much yellow as he's got, this could give Savage an opportunity depending on what shows up here in Swung's board.
Hmm.
He's not going to let a little bit of lack of pill access do him any damage, as he is now down to 11 viruses left here in level 12. Just just a little bit more, and then he will be on to the final level of the block.
Yeah, I could. Swung is waiting for that double yellow, exactly for that double yellow. Clears up a lot of what he needs. Though if he does want to take this blue horizontally, he is going to have to clear out a little bit at the bottom of his board, but
Savage
it
getting
shouldn't
another
be a little
double
too much
yellow
of an issue.
blitz. Oh, not what she needed. Savage was able to use the early bits of that double yellow blitz, but really did not need it after about 4 or 5 pills. As at a 619 now, Swung is out, and he is just 56 viruses away from being in the finals. Can Savage catch up to him? Will this go even longer? That is what we're waiting to find out. I'm glad you are here with us, as man, this one has really been a barn burner of a match.
Exactly. Swung again with another big, big combo. He's down to 41. But like we've said so many times, running out of things to do with yellow.
And Savage decides she cannot waste a yellow here. Is going to set up the reds with the yellow on top, try to get this comboed out. She would love to get another double yellow and get these out of the way, or a yellow red. There is going to be the yellow red, and she needs this double blue. It's perfect for her. Is going to be out at a 7:33, but we're looking at 32 viruses now behind. It's probably going to take something catastrophic on Swong's end. We don't wish that on anybody, but Savage kind of does. So uh, we will see what is going to happen as uh, both players working their way down this board.
Yeah, I know Swang. Yeah, now looking, he would love game. I'm talking to you now. He would love a red blue to get this giant combo. Here it is. A
Massive
super
fat
long fat
log.
log.
And there's the double red that's going to have him out at an 824. Swong is going to the finals. Commiserations to Savage Octagon, but a very well fought match for both players. So GG's to everybody on that one. Really, just a really good match.